today's project is going to be adding some lights to the Skag. The light kit on Skag's website or some of the, even on Amazon, $215. $38, I got one of those Chinese. They're pretty good. We actually have bought the small ones. We've bought these multiple times. We've got them on golf carts, motorcycles, those little Coleman motorcycle things from Tractor Supply, and anyway, they work really good. Got them on our camper as a spotlight for the back porch thing. But $38, it came with two of these, a wiring harness, a wheat relay, a switch, and a big light for up here. So, may ask, why do you want lights on your mower? Well, most riding lawnmowers come with lights. It's for when you get to you're almost finished and the sun's going down, and you just need something to kind of finish off. Also, it's October 20 something here in Texas, and we just got back from the cemetery today, and it's 80 something, 89. I don't know. Grass is still growing. It had grown a bunch in the last 2 weeks because we got some rain. So my wife and I, we're not really morning people. We prefer to just kind of take our time in the mornings, but they want to mow. The guy that we meet mows at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. During midsummer, I'd rather mow in the evenings as the sun's going down. My wife likes to mow a lot, so we're going to put some lights on there so that we can go over there in the evenings if we want to. Time's going to change here shortly, and we'll still probably need to mow it about once a month down here, depending on how long it takes to get into the cold weather. When I say cold, it may get to like 35 or something at night. So during the day, it could be 65 or 70. So anyway, we're going to put some lights on here. Luckily, being Skag, I believe some of these bolts are going to work for the kit that I bought. So the only two holes I had to drill, I'll show you up there. So let's get to it. Rops bar already had two holes back here. I did have to drill them just a touch bigger because they were too small for a 1/4 inch tap and not quite big enough for the 5/16. So I just drilled them out with the 9/32, and then I'm going to tap them so I can just screw a bolt right into it for the mount. And I believe that's pretty much the only drilling I'm going to have to do in here. Okay. And I put this blanket down so I don't drop any shavings or anything down into the fans or motor housing that's down there. I'm going to use these brackets. I don't know, they're Simpson ties or something. I had them on the shelf over there, so they should work just fine. I already test fitted the light, and it is the spacing of those holes that were already there is just right. I will have to loosen the Allen bolt and slide them apart just a touch, but they actually fit, so I don't have to do any new holes or whatever. I just made those a little bigger. Alright, we're going to see if these bolts will work. This is where the light kit mounts. The actual Skag mounts, they have a bracket that fits on these two bolts, and then there's like a little adapter for the light to hang on right here. So this is pretty much out of the way because that's the neutral, and up here in the front on this bolt you might hit it going forward. So we're going to put it on the outside one here and just reuse the bolt that came with it. Should work fine. A little bit of a ridge there, but that's all right. Not quite. Maybe I need something to raise it up a touch because it's going to hit this plastic piece right there. So let me think about that for a minute. If I just put a washer underneath it, it might raise it up to where it fits on that plastic just right. But let me do some testing real quick. Okay, so 2 washers was enough, but I went ahead and put a 3rd one on there just so when I tighten it down, it doesn't crack my plastic or anything. I still was able to hand tighten it about 5 turns, so I think there's plenty of grab, and I won't need to go get a longer bolt. But you could. It's got the number on top here. I'm not sure what size they are, but they're SJI, so whatever that one is. But I do believe you're going to get plenty of threads, so no need to worry about it. And I'm not sure, but it may only hold this plate down. That's right here is the only thing I think it really does. So again, not real important. So go over just a touch. There we go. Yeah. So I do want it to be almost straight. There we go. Okay, so 3 washers seems to work great. And I went ahead and painted those 2 brackets I drilled out orange so they kind of match, and then it's just orange and black. I don't have the silver bracket hanging back there. So real quick, you'll see some people mount this underneath this ROPS bar here. I'm gonna go on top even though it might hit a branch or something, but if I'm sitting here normal like this, as you can see, my head's gonna shadow that. Probably not my wife, but if I'm using it at night or something, then it would shadow based on my head. So I'm gonna mount mine on the top so that it'll come and shine and not hit the back of my head, no matter who's sitting in the chair. But just something to think about, you know, if you want to put your brackets upside down or right side up. Yeah, there we go. And then remember, I just tapped this hole up here. I'm just going to kind of leave everything hand tightened until I get everything mounted, and then I will, of course, go back and tighten everything down good. Give it a good little crank. This worked out pretty good here. Let's see how it works. I think I got them adjusted pretty close. Yeah. There we go. That looks pretty good. If I don't like it, I can loosen that Allen bolt on these 2 mounts here and slide it left or right later. But right now, I'm going to get the... And again, all this hardware came with it except for the brackets and the 5/16 bolts I have inside here. Okay, so now everything's loosely mounted. All the lights, all 3 lights are on there. I'm just going to kind of take off some of these plates, get the battery hooked up, and then figure out where I'm going to run the wires. And then I'm not really sure why, but thanks to my wife and some advice from my son, I have a new toy. It's the 3/8 inch, but just for stuff like this, I am putting the trailer together later. It will be perfect. See how quick that is? I believe this is the battery compartment. Yep, look at that. Okay, and then here's the big old wiring harness you get with this thing, with the relay and the hookups, a fuse. You've got a switch here that we can mount up here somewhere. Not really sure where I'm going to put that yet. I may actually drill a hole right here in this plastic for the light switch. If I ever need to, again, I can. Depends on if there's a hole in here to get to. I don't actually see a hole in there anywhere, though. I don't want to do that. I'm not sure. I'll figure out a place to mount it, though. I do want to put it where I can, you know, glue it down or, you know, snap it in like it's supposed to, so it will be mounted. But that'd be a perfect spot for it right there, because there's a little flat piece right here, and it would just fit perfectly right there. So I may. Oh, there is a hole down there. the cup holder. I'll see where I can mount it. Maybe I can just drill a hole right here and put one through there. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? So, but yeah, all this, that's a lot of wire, of course, but you can fold it up and zip tie it. You'll be good. It already has the spade connectors on it, so you should be good. Actually, it looks like they might be heat shrink type for after you get done. Anyway. So now is the tricky part. This is the part I don't like, is where to run things. I'm going to even need this mounted somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to do some thinking. At this point, this is just going to be a personal preference of how you want to do this. They got some relays right here, and there is enough wire. Yeah, maybe not. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put the relay. That's the other question. Maybe I'll take some of that spot. So anyway, this is where you're going to have to kind of think. I will show you when I get done, but I'm just going to play around for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and show you what I did. As far as the lights go, I'm going to run this one down and follow this wiring harness. I'm just going to come underneath that little plate right there, and then go down that wiring harness and follow it around all the way over here like this. And then this one, and follow along the wiring harness as well. This one, I'm just going to zip tie up here along the bar. We never fold this down, so I'm just going to zip tie it up, you know, right here and down to where the wiring harness goes. As far as that goes. Now I'm just going to figure out the battery and the relay and stuff. Okay, I figured out what I'm going to do for this so far. I'm going to go ahead and mount the relay right here with one screw. I thought about putting it down here on this cable clamp, but then the wires just didn't quite reach right and everything. And kind of wanted the relay out here, but it looks like it's going to fit right in here perfectly with that cover, because it goes below the line. So I didn't want to put it just laying in there because it might bounce and touch one of the terminals, even though there's rubber covering it. So I'm going to put one screw in there in the plastic. Then I'll have the battery cables connected right here and here. And then the switch is long. It's got a long switch cable. So I got that right there. I can go ahead and run it through, well, I'm going to run it right down here and around this, and then follow this wiring harness that goes up into the PTO switch and everything. And then if I just take that cover off right here, I can just run it to my little square right here. I should be able to get to that pretty easily right here if I take this plate and kind of lift it off. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is still mount my switch right there, and then I can just run the switch wire right up along this wiring harness and zip tie it to the existing zip ties pretty much. Alright, for me, I decided to make a little bracket for the switch to hook onto the bolt. So I just got me a piece of extra 1.5 inch flat bar I had over there. I was going to use aluminum, but then I figured this would be a little more sturdy for pressing on all the time. So I drilled a 3/4 inch hole and then a little 5/16 hole, so it'll just bolt onto one of the existing bolts like I did the lights. And clean it up a little bit, and then give it some paint. All right, little bracket made. So this is what I came up with, little bracket right here. I'm just gonna reuse this bolt that's already there. And then there we go, on, off. Now, just gotta get this little bit of mess. I should have probably cut these off and rewired them and made them shorter, but I'm just gonna wind them up like you get when they come and attach them to this wiring harness right here. And then that's it. I'm done. I'll put a little clip in there for this evening when it gets dark of what it looks like going down the yard. But pretty much done. And like I said, you know, this is how I did it. Your mower's going to be a little bit different, and you may not mind drilling into this and just putting some holes in here or whatever. But it's, you know, I just kind of thought about it and decided that this would be the best route per se for my wires and stuff. And I'm just going to wire them all up right here and then put another zip tie on here in the middle and pretty much stay with the current wiring harness path, and that way I don't have to worry about it. I think I will go back and just kind of loop this one around behind, you know, back here some more, so it's just all this extra, and it can just go back the way it came. I should have waited to zip tie it up till I was done, but I'll just go get some more zip ties and be done with it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll put a video in there tonight. So thanks for watching. Get outside, do something, take these ideas, watch a couple videos, and then figure out what's best for you. And just get out there and do it yourself. It's much more enjoyable than, you know, paying someone or just buying the $200 kit. You know, this was 40 bucks and a little ingenuity, and there we go. So as always, we thank you for watching. Get out there, do something, and we'll catch you in the next video. Flip your switch on. Oh. See, even above the bar, it still shines on your head some, so I'm glad I put it up there.